Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Magic the Gathering Arena. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a fantastic day. Today we're taking a look at a Vampire Aggro deck for the historic format. It is a white-black deck, which is using a lot of older cards, but also making use of Cordial Vampire, a new creature that we just got in Jumpstart Historic Horizons. So let's take a look and see what we got here. Starting off at the 1-drops, we have 4 copies of Legion's Landing. This is a legendary enchantment that when it enters the battlefield, it creates a 1/1 vampire creature token with lifelink, and if we attack with 3 or more creatures, it transforms into Adanto the First Fort, a legendary land that can add 1 white mana, or, more importantly, you can pay 2 and a white and tap it to create a creature another vampire creature token with lifelink. So basically, if you can get Legion's Landing transformed, you can pump out vampire creature tokens every turn, which helps a lot against controlling decks, and really kind of helps you just keep up that aggressive sort of attack. Then we've got 4 copies of Skymarcher Aspirant. It is a 1-mana 2/1 with Ascend, which means at any point in the game, if we have a creature that has Ascend, and we control 10 or more permanents, we get the City's Blessing, which basically just interacts with certain abilities that'll say, if you have the City's Blessing, this happens. And if we do have the City's Blessing, Skymarcher Aspirant can fly. So it starts out as a 2/1, and then once we get a bunch of stuff on the board, which we're good at doing because we have a lot of cheap creatures that we can sort of dump onto the board very quickly, this thing can fly. Then we got 4 copies of Bloodchief's Thirst. This is our sort of main removal spell in the deck. For 1 mana, we can get rid of a creature or planeswalker with mana value 2 or less, or we can pay an additional 3 mana, and then it will destroy any creature or planeswalker. So helps with getting rid of stuff. Then we've got 4 copies of Adanto Vanguard at 2 mana, and this is a fantastic little creature. When it's attacking, it gets +2/+0, turning it into a 3/1. And we can pay 4 life to make it indestructible until end of turn, so it's a very resilient creature, hard to get rid of unless they have exile effects. Then we've got 4 copies of Cordial Vampire for 2 black mana. It is a 1/1, and whenever it or another creature dies, we put a +1/+1 counter on every vampire we control, and all of the creatures in our deck are vampires. So if we can kill opponents' creatures, or if we sacrifice our own creatures, including our creature tokens, it will make all of our vampires stronger. We've got 4 copies of Legion Lieutenant, 1 white, 1 black, for a 2/2 that gives all other vampires +1/+1. Then we've got 2 copies of Vanishing Verse, a 1 black, 1 white instant that will exile 2 target monocolored permanents. This is a fantastic removal spell. However, we don't really want to exile opponents' creatures for the most part. We'd rather destroy them. To get rid of, to get the trigger from Cordial Vampire. But sometimes you just need to exile certain creatures, because maybe you're playing a deck that brings stuff back from the graveyard, and things like that, and you just want to get rid of stuff. Also, it gets rid of planeswalkers. It can get rid of, it's not limited to just creatures or planeswalkers, so we can also get rid of, like, problematic enchantments or things along those lines. So just a couple copies of that. Then at 3 mana, we have 3 copies of Mavren Fein, Dusk Apostle. This is a legendary 2/2 vampire that whenever 1 or more non-token vampires attack, we create a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. So we have a few different ways in this deck to create creature tokens. Legion's Landing will create them, and Mavren Fein will create them as well. Then we have 4 copies of Radiant Destiny. When it enters the battlefield, we choose a creature type. Obviously, we would pick vampires, because that's the only type of creature in our deck. And creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1. And then if we have the City's Blessing, kind of going along with Skymarcher Aspirant here, all of those creatures get Vigilance as well, which means we can attack and block with them, and just kind of attack as much as we want. And then we also have, rounding out the very high end of our curve, for 4 mana, 3 copies of Crippling Fear, which basically is a one-sided board wipe. We choose a creature type, and creatures that aren't of the chosen type get -3/-3 until end of turn. So it's a great way to just basically clear out a bunch of small creatures on the opponent's board, and open up a big, huge attack. As far as the mana base goes, it's pretty straightforward. 6 basic plains, 6 basic swamps, 4 of the black-white pathway, 4 of the black-white shockland, and 4 of the black-light checkland. So, yeah, basically that's how it works. It's all pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and jump into some games and try it out. All right, so here's our first hand, and looks pretty good. We've got a Skymarcher Aspirant for turn 1, into Legion Lieutenant, then we've got a little bit of removal as well. I think this is perfectly fine. So let's just go... actually, we want to play this on turn 1, so let's go Pathway on white, and then the Aspirant. And looks like they're on blue of some sort. Go ahead, play our Swamp, play our Legion Lieutenant. Okay, they're on Opt, so maybe some sort of, like, Is It Spells deck? Could be any number of things, we'll see. Hopefully we draw into some more useful stuff here. Okay, they're on black-blue. Legion's End. Okay. Interesting. Well, play out another Legion Lieutenant, because we just drew one, and then I guess we'll just go ahead and play our Godless Shrine tapped. And they just give up. Okay. Scared of our vampires, I guess. Maybe maybe they gave up prematurely, but who knows? Hard to know without seeing their hand. All right. This looks like a relatively okay hand. I think we'll keep it. So we want to be able to play Cordial Vampire on turn 2. So I think we're going to want to go Godless Shrine, Legion's Landing, and then Swamp turn 2 into Cordial Vampire. There we go. So we'll play out Cordial Vampire here. Attack with their little token. They're on some sort of green-white deck. Vanishing Light. Okay. Getting rid of Legion's Landing. It's a little annoying, but it's fine. Let's go... Put this on white. We'll play out... Do I want to play Radiant Destiny or Cordial Vampire? I think I'd rather play Radiant Destiny here. Naming vampires. Attack with both. A little bit more mana efficient that way. Ixalan's Binding. Okay. So are they on like some sort of weird green-white control deck? I don't know. They still haven't played any creatures? But we've got plenty of removal in our hand. Gideon's Intervention. Okay. Naming Cordial Vampire, that's fine. We can't play Radiant Destiny unless we get rid of the Ixalan's Binding. That's really annoying. And I can't play my other Cordial Vampire, so that's also a dead card. We need to draw into our... I mean, there's no point in attacking with these guys. We need to draw into our exile spell. Ixalan's Binding again. Okay. Probably getting rid of the token, since it's the only thing that can actually hit me. So we just pass. I mean, we can't play our vampires because of their stuff. We can't play our Radiant Destiny. They're just on some sort of enchantment deck. I don't know what their win condition is. But we're kind of running out of vampires. They've basically shut down like half of our deck here. We do have plenty of other vampires in the deck. And they're just going to be drawing tons of cards now. Okay, that's also an annoying one for us. Players can't get counters. So that basically completely shuts down Cordial Vampire. Yeah, this is, we've got a pretty bad hand for this matchup. We've got tons of removal, nothing to use it on. Ah, it's an Approach of the Second Sun deck. Okay. Well, we can Legion's Landing. Pass the turn. I imagine they have a way to get rid of it. Yep. Now, gonna draw a bunch of cards. So we're gonna lose to a very interesting Approach of the Second Sun deck. Fair enough. And they should be able to draw. Yep, there's their approach. They can play it next turn. We've got no way to stop them. And we'll just give them a good game and let them play approach. Because there's nothing we can do at this point. Yep, and we just drew a land. So, good game. I'll pass the turn, let them play approach. This is not exactly the kind of it's not a good deck for us to be matched up against. We don't have a whole lot that interacts with enchantments and stuff like that. We're much more creature focused. So, did they not play Approach of the Second Sun? They had it in hand. What? Did you not play it? I'm very confused. Oh, you know what? It's bugged. I think Approach of the Second Sun is actually bugged in the current patch. So I'm just going to go ahead and concede. I think it's supposed to work, but like apparently it only works like half the time. So they should have actually won the game right there, but I'll just go ahead and concede. There was nothing we could do. Let's jump into another one. Okay, so this hand is all right. I don't think it's great. We've only got one creature, but it is Adanto Vanguard, which is pretty resilient. Probably going to be an Elves deck of some sort. So I think we'll just play a Swamp, and we'll just get rid of the Llanowar Elves. Slow them down as much as we can. Crippling Fear could be very good in this match. Okay, it's probably not an Elves deck, because normally you wouldn't see Paradise Druid in an Elves deck. So let's just go Isolated Chapel, Vanguard. Once we get up to 4 black mana, we'll be able to hopefully wipe their board. Hopefully they won't have anything too big on the board by then. Okay, another Paradise Druid. My turn. So let's go ahead, play out the plains. We'll play a Skymarcher and play a second Adanto Vanguard. Probably should have waited till after combat, but like whatever. It's fine, we'll get in there for 3. I imagine they wouldn't have blocked anyway, because they want the ramp. 3rd Paradise Druid. So this Crippling Fear is looking pretty good right now. So let's go ahead. Name vampires. Attack with everything. And unfortunately they were missing their land drops. So, you know, sometimes it happens. That was a pretty back-breaking Crippling Fear. Okay, so this is a kind of an awkward hand. We have 2 2-drops and 2 3-drops, but our mana's okay. I think we'll keep it. We'll probably play Legion Lieutenant first. And we'll just see what our opponent does here. go. And a third Radiant Destiny. It's not exactly what we were wanting to see, but it's fine. Looks like they're on black, green, blue. And I see a World Tree. So quite possibly some sort of ramp deck or control deck. Or maybe they could just be 5-color good stuff. Next turn we'll play out Cordial Vampire, I think. And they got rid as well. Ah, they're on a Slivers deck. Okay, that makes sense. So, let's see. Do we kill the Sliver? Let's play the Pathway. You know what we should have done is we should have played that on black. So we could have vampired and then Bloodchief's Thirst. I mean, Bloodchief's Thirst, this is 3 mana, so it wouldn't have done anything anyway. Alright, let's just play out the Cordial Vampire here. And we'll see. Do we want to make that trade? I don't think we do. We'll just say no attacks. That's looking like a prime target for some removal. So let's play Legion's Landing for sure, because we want to get that involved as quickly as possible. How many permanents do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this would not give us the City's Blessing. I think what we'll plan to do is we'll Bloodchief's Thirst next turn. And here we'll just say no attacks. That way we can flip Legion's Landing. There we go. So first things first, get rid of the Predatory Sliver. That'll make all of our vampires stronger. Then we'll play out an additional Radiant Destiny. And attack with everything. That'll transform Legion's Landing. They're going to either block with their Tempered Sliver or they're going to take 15 damage. Neither one sounds all that great, and they just decide to scoop it up instead. Okay. All right. Looks like a pretty solid hand, all things considered. Looks like we're up against some sort of energy deck. Turn 1 Legion's Landing. Turn 2 Vanguard. Turn 3 Mavren Fein, probably. We'll just say no blocks. Give themselves a little bit of extra damage, but I'm not worried about that. Leonin Vanguard, okay. So, Isolated Chapel. Adanto Vanguard. Pass the turn. We're going to wait till we have 3 creatures on the board to attack so we can flip Legion's Landing. Are they on a cat tribal deck? They're on a cat tribal deck. Nice. I love it. Very nice. I'm here for the cat tribal. Okay. So let's go Mavren Fein. And then, do we attack with the Vanguard? I think we'll at least attack with the Adanto Vanguard. Get in for 3. Okay, Leonin War Leader. And I will block that one. Alright, we got another Legion's Landing, which isn't great. Do we attack with everything? I think we do, honestly. Means we're probably going to lose Mavren Fein, but that's fine. Okay. Or they'll just let us get in. Probably scared of Pump Spell or something like that. That's fine. Let's go ahead and play out our Pathway. Play another Legion's Landing. And yeah, we'll play out our Skymarcher Aspirant, which is now a flyer. And I'm perfectly willing to sacrifice my Aspirant and these 2 vampires to take out the War Leader. Okay, they're going to gain some life. So we need to kill this thing immediately. Means losing 3 creatures, which feels pretty bad, but we can make more tokens with our Adanto. Okay. That's rough. Pretty bad for us, honestly. So now their Pride Mate's going to get real big. And we're just drawing all the lands, which is not helpful at all. So I think this one might be lost. We may have lost to the Cat Tribal deck. Yeah, and they drew another Leonin War Leader. That's really bad. That's also pretty bad. So they can basically just attack with everything here. We'll make a token. And we'll just chump block these 2. Take 2 from the token. What would save us here? Not a lot. Especially considering they have another Leonin War Leader in hand. Crippling Fear is a decent draw. So let's go... I'm going to attack with the Vanguard. Which we do want to keep. Was hoping they'd block with the War Leader. But they did not. So let's go here. Name vampires. Kill everything else. And then we end the turn. Unfortunately, we don't have enough land to make another token. But yeah, I think we're pretty dead here. In fact, we are definitely dead. Even if I block everything, there's way too much damage coming in. It's a good game. And we've lost to the Cat Tribal deck. Pretty cool deck, honestly. I love to see it. But I think that's going to do it for today. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.